Okay, hello and welcome. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Let's continue with Magic and Mayhem. Yes, I've got to say it like that. Last time, we were having a fair bit of difficulty. The game has gotten a lot harder, which I'm glad for. But it is quite the sharp increase in difficulty. We've been trying this level here, Parnassus, where we are up against two enemy mages. And I'd also discovered that apparently the levels are at least partially randomly generated. I feel like the terrain is randomly generated, but the levels have like set features in them, so at least those won't change, but the areas around them may. So let's see. What I had taken last time was this. Actually, no, didn't I change it slightly? Yeah, I think I did, because I was using skeletons last, and I swapped them over for the basilisk. Because Pestilence was dealing well. The enemy mages were casting a lot of brownies, which are rather weak ranged units, and Pestilence spreads amongst them pretty quickly. I had skeletons because they're slightly better. They're better melee combatants than zombies are. But zombies might be better for defense because I've got more health. I didn't use Tornado. But I guess it's nice to be able to split up the two enemy mages if they attack me at the same time. Meteor Shower I'm going to keep because that's a nice high damage spell. Though I could possibly get Excalibur. That acts as an extra attack for a unit it's cast on. It sort of hits enemy units which are in melee. And the enemy mages are making use of a spell which I don't have. I might actually have a entry about it now because we've played and failed the mission. I think it updates after that. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we've gotten a few new spells here. We've got this, Lucifer's Farewell, which is like Lemmings. Mana cost 10, spell range 16. I have mastered a spell which, to the uninitiated, must look like the work of Satan himself. Applicable only to individual allied targets if cast correctly. The subject of the spell rapidly drains of the very essence of biological life. Seemingly unaffected, the unfortunate creature may be controlled and commanded as usual, but the result is an untimely death. Not that this spell provides a comfortable passing for the unfortunate creature, cursed with this dark sorcery. When its health has been completely sapped, it explodes quite violently, showering the immediate vicinity with limbs and body juices. The explosion will potentially harm any neighboring life forms. The severity of the explosion is dependent upon both the size of the subject as well as its health level when Lucifer's Farewell was applied. The tactician within me can see the opportunities present in such a devastating spell, but my peers from the academy would surely furrow their brows with concern upon hearing that I am able to wield so diabolical a spell upon other living creatures. One can only admire the stark, efficient brutality of chaos when demonstrated with such an elegantly simple spell. So yeah, it's like, it sets a timer off on the creature, and when the timer hits 0, they explode. I love the artwork there. Oh, jeez. We've also got this, Lure. Mana cost 25, spell range 12. This spell, whilst complex in its application, produces a very simple result. When targeted onto any creature, regardless of allegiance, that subject becomes bait to any who detest its presence, although those lured do seem to be only those of a low intelligence. Creatures baited in this way approach the subject with extreme prejudice. Even if the subject attempts to flee, the pursuers will hunt him down. It seems that there is no safe haven once the spell is applied. The intricacies of the spell allow for the targeting of friendly creatures, enemy creations, or wizards themselves. The spell is of fixed duration, wearing off in time. Okay, I don't actually have these spells, but because we observed them, it gives me the entries for them, which is nice. I kind of wish the dialogue changed slightly depending on whether you had the spell or not, but that's an extremely minor point. I feel like instead of writing them like, I have learned how to do this spell, it would probably have been better like, I don't know, I have discovered the spell. That would leave it at least ambiguous as to whether he actually knows the spell or whether he's just observed it. This one, Scythian Bow. Mana cost 30, spell range 16. This is a spell that calls forth the aid of an enchanted bow. I believe this to be none other than the fabled Scythian Bow of legend, which can fire an infinite supply of arrows truer than even the greatest of archers. Applicable not only to myself, but also to any one of my minions, the bow promises to be as powerful as Excalibur has proven to be. It offers the same advantages over a greater distance, piercing the flesh from of my adversaries from afar. Armed with this weapon, I can stand proud amongst an army of my elven archers, leaded by example with my mighty bow, inspiring the ranks with my masterful use of this enchanted weapon. Though it's sort of floating above their head, so I can't imagine he's actually using it. It's just sort of shooting at things nearby. That's what Excalibur's doing. It mentions that he's not actually that the creatures aren't actually using it, just sort of floating around them. I don't think we have any new magic items. And no new artifacts either. Okay, good thing I reviewed that. I didn't actually know there had been a spell such as Lure. I'd seen Lucifer's Farewell, and also the Scythian Bow. Yeah, that third one. Okay, so that's something to keep an eye out for. See, if I take Excalibur, I would want to take crocodiles, or possibly hellhounds. Some creature which has a lot of hit points, because that means I get the most amount of use out of the out of casting Excalibur on them, because that spell doesn't it doesn't have a duration. So the more health they have, the more chances it has to attack when they're in melee. And I think the crocodile is the creature with the most hit points I have available to me at the moment. I think it's got 420, and I think the unicorn has 200. Crocodile 360. There was centaurs, but we haven't actually got that yet. Hellhounds have 220. So yeah, crocodiles I think have the most hit points out of all the creatures I have available to me. I thought basilisks perhaps, because coupled with pestilence dealing damage over time, basilisks can also poison a creature, and I wonder whether that stacks. The AI have got cure, so they're healing themselves the whole time. I kind of have to tear them down rather quickly. Phoenixes, because they explode in an area of effect. Again, maybe hellhounds would be more useful there. I could cast hellhounds, give them pestilence, send them into melee, and then have them explode. I thought about that with phoenixes, but phoenixes die really quickly. They have very little health. I could do the same thing with crocodiles. The only problem is that you can see their crocodiles cost quite a bit of mana, whereas hellhounds are like a quarter. Just over a quarter, actually. Do I have any points I can spend? I do. Can increase that by a bit. I would have to have 137 to get another talisman. And I think there might be another magical item I can get. It would mean another spell available to me. I haven't really been hitting the control limit, because my creatures die very quickly. Getting more mana would be useful. It just gives me a larger pool to work from. Until I find a point of power. See, I think I'll increase my mana. Pardon. I had the remnants of a potato cake before I started. It's very nice, but eating them like a few hours even after you first got them, they lose all their crunch. It's just not the same. Heat them up in the oven, but for like a quarter of one, it's really not worth it. Magic missile or magic sphere. That could be useful because there's a lot of cliffs and that would bounce around a lot. However, that would also hurt me. I haven't used Sloth. That doesn't actually cost that much, that spell. Summons a genie that blows an icy wind. All affected creatures will move and attack at a much slower pace. Could be useful. They're not very fast. But slowing them down might help, like, control them a bit more. Sort of, you know, give more opportunities to have them clustered up with each other. I want to keep bats, I think. They're nice that they fly around. I like the maneuverability they provide. That was the other thing about phoenixes. They can fly. Okay. Let's try this again. I could also lower the difficulty, but I prefer not to. Okay. I have a strange feeling that I'm being watched. There they are. Bloctites and Mobus. Okay. Ooh, hey, we've got a point right up here. That's pretty nice. I'll summon a Hellhound on there. And you can sit there. That's convenient. Start right next to a place like that. I also got this item last time, Runes of Lore, but I don't know what it does. Until I know what it does, I don't particularly want to use it to try and find out what it does. There's also these. That wasn't something I found in my grimoire, was it? Unless it was a creature I overlooked. I don't think I saw that spell. It's just eyeballs floating around the place. They seem to be creatures because a number of them had the Scythian bow cast on them. Okay, we'll cast Pestilence over there. Ow. But that's pretty great. It's right in the path of them. Good, you poisoned him. By the gods, I'll wager you're here to steal my phosphorus, thief. You could donate it to my cause and save us both any trouble. Insolence. I'd not grant such a gift even if it were within my power. Phosphorus is a sacred substance hidden within the inner sanctum of the temple, and it is guarded by beings of the spirit world. Your ghost stories do not scare me, old man. He actually looks younger than you do. Okay. If I cast this over here. There we go. Doesn't really look like he got plague on him as well. Oh no, he does. Cool. Okay, so it does stack. Nice, nice. We'll summon some zombies. They'll keep him occupied. Like, my Hellhound's actually shooting them through the, window. Okay, poison him again. Can we freeze it? Slow him down? We did. But he's getting away. Okay. I'll summon some bats. Send them over to harass him more. At least to give him the plague. No. Can't summon the basilisk down there, can I? Oh, no. Okay. Pestilence is useful just to be able to, like, crowd control as well. Yeah, you're healing, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Well. Oh, you didn't give them the plague. Boo! Okay. Now go over to him. Ow. But one of my zombies is still wandering around there. That's impressive. My bats have so little health they can't actually get over to him before they die. Okay, can I go and get that? Oh, you are on the point. Okay. You just stay there. There's another point I can get over there. That is up there. Okay, let's go this way. Feel like my hellhound will be alright over there. Oh, lightning! There's a dude. I don't know which one it is. I've actually given myself the plague there. Thought I might be far enough away. It might have been one of their creatures just getting close to me. Yeah, zombies really aren't good for attacking like that. Okay, let's go up here. I want this point. How's my hellhound going? That's fine. I could maybe have put another pestilence at the base of those stairs there. Go attack it. Go. You can hop on there. Put you on to 5. Good. 2 points. I wonder if I could make use of the levitate spell to get around. I could cast it on my own mage. Hello. Okay. Yeah, cast that up there. I said cast that up there. There we go. Okay, poison him. Good, we might be able to deal with one of them. Oh, brother, I'm in trouble. I'm coming, brother. Oh, it looks like they got rid of my other hellhound. Damn it. Oh well. Yeah, they look like they get experience just by being in combat. Not by, getting kills. Okay. Actually, no, go after him. You're all dead. But, you might be able to kill him. Go over here. How badly injures my hellhound? Not really. Okay. So close! He might end up dying. Hey! My sacred phosphorus! No! Philoctetes has dropped his Cloak of Invisibility. It will help you penetrate the temple. Okay. Let's go get that. That will make things easier. We've only got one of them to deal with now. Okay. And there's the, second one. Oh. Stay away from me. Oh, you're actually following me around. Attack him. I can just, like, keep you occupied for long enough. You might end up getting struck by lightning. Yeah, it looks like you might be dying soon as well. There we go. I have failed you, brother. There we go. I feel kind of bad about that. But victory is victory. Okay. Let's see. We haven't done everything around here, though. doesn't look like he dropped anything. Oh, I didn't get poisoned by all that. Hellhound, deal with that. Well, I'm glad that tactic worked so well. Ugh. It's always nice to have a level which you were stuck on last time and then, I don't know, go away, have a break, come back to it, and you're able to make much better headway in it. Okay, we don't have any timer until the teleporter, until the portal disappears, do we? Nope. Good. That was the thing on 2 levels. I kind of hope it doesn't appear again. I don't particularly like it. Just because I like exploring the levels. I don't want to have to be hurried around. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, let me go up here. I'll summon a zombie on there. I said summon a zombie on there, not over there. There we go. Okay. Oh, looks like he got plagued just by going near that window. Right. Now we just have to go over here. There's another one of those eyeball things. Oh, my dog. There we go. Saved him. Okay. Let me save again because I don't want to go into that portal, and it's kind of right in my path. As long as we don't step on it directly, it should be fine. Actually, is it up on the ledge? No, no, no. It's on the ground. Okay, summon another hellhound there. Because I'm gonna need mana to get through here. There's it's like constantly respawning ghostly undead in there. Rather unpleasant. This is also, that's why I had the skeletons, because they deal pretty good damage. Zombies don't. Versus undead also. Because undead get bonuses versus undead in this. Okay. We could just summon a whole bunch of hellhounds and basilisks and go through there. I mean, they're undead. They're not immune to poison. Though their hellhounds are rather large. What's the roof of this building look like? Okay. I don't think I can use meteorites to knock a hole in the roof. As cool as that would be. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay. Oh, hey. It looks like they do spawn on these specific squares. Oop. A little help here? I feel like there's got to be a better way to do this, but I don't know of one. There we go. Hey, we got the phosphorus. Okay, so there wasn't anything in that chest. It didn't look like. And the other chest, we got the phosphorus. Okay, let's leave. There we go. Last time they actually did follow me out of there. Yeah, see, they follow you out of the tunnel. I would have thought they wouldn't. But I guess it's just spawning creatures. It's not really doing anything else unique to them. Okay, there we go. I'll save again. And we'll exit the level. Let's see whether we got all the experience points in that. No, we missed 10 experience points. Okay. Would that be to destroy all of those eyeballs? Let's go try that. Hang on. Let's go over here. Because I think I saw some more of the purple dots down here on the auto map. Okay, let's head on. Yep. Okay, pick up this. Since he mentioned at the beginning of the level, you know, I feel like I'm being watched. These eyeballs, I'm assuming, are that. So destroying them all, it makes sense to me. We'll poison these eyeballs. Okay. There's this scroll here too. I didn't actually check that. That might. Maybe that's it. And this might be a clue on how to deal with the skeleton. It's deal with the ghosts instead of just brute forcing my way past them like I did. To say, offer a fruit, and the gods shall watch over you. Okay. Oh, it was that right? Yeah, and and the first time I went into the level, there was a banner thingy on there, but I didn't have any fruit to offer, and it summoned a bunch of fawns. I don't have fruit. Let's destroy these then. Looks like they all have stone skin on them. Makes me also wish I had a ranged unit. These narrow passages make it difficult for my melee units to engage the enemy. I like that Meteor's spell lasts for a good amount of time. There's a pretty high chance that it will hit what you were hoping for it would go for. All those fawns have just scattered to the four winds. Some over there. I think there was 5? So we killed 4, there's 3 here, and there's 1 over here. Okay, he's nearly gone. There we go. Go and attack him. Good. I guess that's all. That's all of them. I didn't get any experience points for that, I don't think. Maybe because I moved off the platform instead of offering a fruit. But I don't have any fruit. I haven't seen any on the map. Unless there's like one over here. Cornelius, go up there. Though I feel if there was like a fruit sitting around on the map somewhere, the AI probably would have gone and picked it up pretty quickly. Did I hear one of the enemy mages eating something? I feel like I did, maybe, but whether that was something they picked up or it was just something they spawned in the level with, I don't know. Oh. Okay, that did something. Can I break these pots? No, it doesn't look like it. In one of the levels, I think I was able to break a pot and find stuff in it. What if I burn this? Can I burn it? Either no, or my meteor spell does not actually set the ground on fire. I thought it did. I know lightning does. I might be thinking of lightning. Okay then. Well, I can't find any fruit around here. So I guess we will leave. We just save again. And we will go. Oh, I missed some of those eyeballs. There's 2 more down there. Okay. Load again. Pardon. If there's some remaining, I would like to get rid of them. Okay. Oh, it looks like they're right over there. They'll be able to get there quickly. So it won't be any problem at all. Actually. Deal with that one. These eyeballs have got a lot of health. And it's not jumping to my command group anymore. Okay. Go down and deal with that one. It'd be nice also if the game was a little bit more clear as to what was actually visible and what wasn't. A good way to do that is games would have it so that everything which you couldn't see, though if you had revealed that area of the map, would be to make it in monochrome. It's a little odd unclear whether I like, do I have line of sight here? How far does my line of sight go to? I can see these are there, even under the fog of war. Monsters I can't, so... Okay, that was 2 more, but I didn't get any pop-up from that. Go over here. Is there anything up there? No. What about over here? No, that was where I was fighting last time. Okay, well, if I end the level again, it reveals the entire map, so maybe I can see if there's another 1 or 2 scattered around somewhere. They stand out pretty well. Doesn't look like it. Okay then. There is 10 points there, which I don't know how to get. Oh well. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, yes, because we got a new artifact. Can I see that creature here? No. So it's a spell then, is it? No, doesn't look like it. Okay, I don't know what it is. Oh, we got the Cloak of Invisibility here. The Cloak of Invisibility is a garment that, once activated, allows the bearer to become invisible for a period of time. The cloak only has one use, after which it vanishes. Okay. I guess as you would expect. Okay. I hope we actually fill this entire thing up with items, because that would be quite a variety of spells we have available. I kind of suspect not. Maybe halfway is what I think we'll... It's I think how many different artifacts we'll get, or magic items we get. Maybe to the third shelf. Don't actually know. Okay, phosphorus. Let's see. Lucifer's Farewell. Turns a creature into a walking bomb. Its health will deplete like a fuse prior to detonation. Haste. Doubles the speed of a creature for a limited duration. And Subversion. Attempt to take control of an enemy creature. The chance of success is limited by the target creature's magic resistance. Okay. Haven't seen Haste yet. That would be useful for some really slow creatures, like crocodiles. And then if I bought Excalibur, oh, and of course Cure. Not going to give up Cure. I do like skeletons. Let's go with the unicorn. Get fawns. Stone. Well, maybe not fawns. Let's go with zombies, because I want lightning. We'll get red caps. And out of these three, I'd like to use levitate. So let's put a point into neutral talismans. There we go. Okay. Let's move on to Delphi. Ah, civilization at last. A man could settle down here and find peace, perhaps even marry. What? There's something amiss here. My mana, it's gone! Steady, Cornelius. There must be a mana drain protecting the city. Mana drain? I have never heard of such a thing. There is much they didn't teach you at the academy, but take heart, it's not the end of the world. Yet. Lucan would know what to do. He will be here soon. You must not expect too much of him, Cornelius. He's just an old man. Meanwhile, explore the city. The inhabitants aren't hostile. Okay. Will they become hostile if I start picking up all this food and wine all over the place? I mean, it's just sitting out here. Oh right, yeah, the centaurs and the red caps are fighting each other, aren't they? A challenge, wizard. Restore the sacred skull to its rightful place, and my king will reward you great riches. Is this going to be like a... There's your king. It looks like you have a staff there. So I'm going to guess... I have to make a choice. Either side with the centaurs or... I didn't see that. I'm gonna reload. Either start with the side with the centaurs or the red caps. I want to read all the dialogue, so it's not that big of a deal. Yep. Okay. I was going to say, how do I get into that house? Okay, let's go pick up these items again. And an option also to like completely flatten the walls would be nice. Though I guess if I could flatten the walls entirely, I wouldn't have to rotate the camera. But that's quite neat to have to do. I get different perspectives on things. Wizardling, you must help us. Talk to King Dagobert. Okay. Hello, welcome, Wex. Things are going well. If that temple's here. Pick up this bread. Oh, there's some fish there. Or a fish. Let's go get that. I wonder what it's like living in a city which wraps around on itself. Ooh. There's a crocodile statuette in there. How's the mayhem today? Would I recommend it over magic? Well, we had quite a bit of mayhem earlier. We managed to defeat 2 enemy mages. Though our magic at the moment is at 0. Apparently there's a drain magic spell or effect over this city. So we're unable to cast any magic. So I guess we're going to have to cause mayhem. There's a storage room full of pots. Oh, a challenge wizard. Yes. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything too specific in there. Let's see. Yes. It's actually 2 mana things in there. Can I open this building? Is that door openable? Doesn't look like it. Okay. So this one is the centaurs? No, there's the skull. A mage with wits and courage could perhaps retrieve our jewel. Yeah, okay, so it's a sort of a... Either pick up this and give it to the red caps, or pick up this and give it to the centaurs. Oop. Gaia. Another wizard comes to rid my city of chaos. Ha! Oh, geez. That is a lot of skeletons and phoenixes in there. There's a pie in here. Let's get that. Hmm. Okay. Either way, I think I'm going to have to make a decision soon. Pretty quickly. Interesting, this area of terrain doesn't show up on the auto map. Neither does the bridge. Hmm. Okay. Can I go in there? No, I cannot. Okay. Right. So, centaurs or red caps? It's actually taking the points. Personally, I feel the centaurs because they're tougher than the red caps. Ow. They would help me more in combat. This isn't good. Hey, come on. I'm just visiting your city. Is this how you greet all visitors? Welcome. I am King Dagobert. This is my kingdom. You will help us. Yes. I'm not in there, but I'll hear you. That depends on what you wish of me. Amadeus's centaur warriors stole our sacred jewel. Retrieve it, and we will return their wretched skull and end this little misunderstanding. If I return your jewel for the centaurs, you will give me their lost skull. Yes, 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 bright wizardling, you will do it. This jewel, what does it look like? It is a golden wishbone of our great ancestors, most precious. I will consider your dilemma, Redcap King. Hail to you, wizard. Salutations from King Amadeus, master of the four winds, hero of Delphi. Hello. Hail, wizard. I, Amadeus, master of the four winds, hero of Delphi, bringer of... Yes, indeed. I know much of you, King Amadeus, and I know that you have need of my aid. This is so, wizard. Many days ago, Dagobert, with his red-capped tribe, stole an heirloom of our ancestors. It is the sacred skull of our great god Baal, with 3 A's. Restore it to our temple here, and the Redcap's golden jewel will be yours. I have some time to kill. I'll consider your proposal. Accept our humble gratitude, noble wizard. Well, I mean, yeah, so I'm in a situation where I have to pick up one of the items to give it to the other ones. A traitor in our midst! Guards, seize him! Yeah, that's what I thought. And I did. Hey, don't drink that wine! Well, I guess I don't need it anymore. Okay, so let's see. I wonder if I can pick it up while I'm invisible. That way they wouldn't know I took it. It would have just vanished. Because, you know, we see how this goes. Okay. So, I'm going to summon you and put you on there. Okay, so we'll go over here. The red caps would be easier to evade than the, Hey! You're attacking me! Why? Because I put a creature on the point? I guess... Okay, I will reload then. I will not put my crocodile on the point. That is bad. Forget about taking their magical doohickey. It's you step on this, it's just terrible. Ruins so many sacred ancient centaur traditions. Okay. So we hear your plight. We go over here, hear the plight of the Redcap King through the wall. Okay. So if I go back, let's see. Yep. Can I pick it up while I'm invisible? I can, actually. Well, they go hostile, but they don't know I'm there, so that kind of works. I'm kind of doing this to see whether I can get them both on my side, but I don't think it works like that. Also, apparently this, I can use it like multiple times. The charge hasn't completely gone with one use. It'll probably just trigger the dialogue for them. I don't think the game would be that complicated. Hello, I have your doohickey. There we go. Oh, cool. You gave me your place of power. Okay, and now they're willing to let me take their items since I've given them theirs. Ow. Oh, I am on fire. I am on fire. I haven't actually gotten the icon of power. It would be nice if all the red caps actually ended up on my side. Though they are helping me fight. Yeah, can you move away from there? I kind of need to go in there. Okay. I can drop items by right-clicking on them down in my menu there. Excuse me a moment. I don't think I dropped that close enough to them. This isn't going to go well. Would you give me a moment, please? Baal, we humbly submit before thee. The splendor of our kingdom is restored. You have done well, wizard. Your enemy is our enemy. Our place of power is yours. Hooray! Just before I died. Okay, cool. So we have both of the places of power, and we also have all these troops on our side. Okay. I was actually able to do what I was thinking about. That's pretty cool. Kudos, game, for allowing me to do that. And not just giving me a binary decision there. Return what is ours, wizard, or be trampled to dust. Yeah, I didn't mean to pick up your skull. Hold on. Let me, drop it there. Hey! I returned it! Okay. I think I'm going to go and take the, I'm going to get the, item from the red caps first. They're weaker than the centaurs, so if I can, you know, put off upsetting the centaurs for longer, then, that'll be good. Because I walk over items, and walking over an item is as good as picking it up. Okay, go back in here. Yep. Okay. I could probably restart the level completely and actually get more time before he attacks us. There. Okay. Hello. Yes, I am currently invisible. You can't see me. What's this? Our war trophy. Stolen. Revenge, brothers. If I drop it off over here, that will be less in the way. See, I feel like I don't know where they expect me to drop it. Like, I kind of think in this area up here. Like, down here doesn't count, but, I don't know. Okay, summon you. Pick up the item. Now I can go do the red caps. Yep. They are hostile with me, but, well. They do just throw stones. They're pretty good at melee, but... Okay, can I drop it over here? I can, good. Nice. Save. There we go. And it's all the way over there, so I don't have a, I'm not going to, like, accidentally stand on it and pick it up again. Okay, I have 2 points. Get out of here. Crocodile. Okay, good. I've got both of those points. And they're attacking the enemy wizard too. Nice. They've completely turned against him. Be petrified? He's got to slaughter them all by casting those magic projectiles everywhere. I hope I don't have to, like, keep the kings alive. Gonna be a bit of a pain. Okay. What has he got down here guarding these points? If I can get them. Phoenixes. Okay, okay. That's actually the better option. Between crocodiles and phoenixes, I much prefer the phoenixes. Okay, good. Got one of his points. Slaughtering all of your centaurs. I feel like I don't have to keep you alive, but... Well... Okay, good. That was the other phoenix dying. Go down there, take the point. He should have no mana left. That king is, like, really chasing down the enemy wizard. Good on him. Let's summon a unicorn. I cast haste on you too. Oh, that's a metronome! That makes sense. This crocodile has got an awful lot of hit points. Oh! Okay, he can make his creatures explode. That's going to be a big explosion because it's used up a lot of health. Boom! Oh, there's a point there. It's in the water, however. Hmm. How would I get that? Would I need a creature which can go underwater? Or is there some way to raise the platform it's on? You are nearly dead. You are probably going to die. You died. Okay, well. There's no message from him dying, so I'm going to guess it doesn't really matter. I brought crocodiles too. Crocodiles could go on the water, actually. Maybe I could put one of them on the point. Let's equip our crocodiles with Excaliburs. Go. Where's that mage? There he is. Go get him. Also, hasten my crocodiles. No. There we go. He didn't drop anything, it doesn't look like, but fine. Okay. Oh, that's okay. That's where that That's where the exit is. So what is this over here? Point which is submerged. Where are my crocodiles? There they are. Oh, there's a phoenix on it. Yeah, I can summon. Yeah, okay. That works. And now my crocodile is on fire underwater. There we go. Okay. I don't think there's really anything else for us to find in this city. Let's go up here. Maybe there's something in here. Doesn't look like it though. Oh hey. There is actually someone. Oh, you would be the Oracle. That is why I came here, isn't it? Hello. You were the Oracle of Delphi? I expected not such radiant beauty, glowing eyes. Radiant hardly does you justice, my lady. You flatter me, boy, yet beauty is fleeting. Wisdom lies within. What is it you seek? I have come in search of knowledge, of a magical item I possess. A golden cauldron known as the Grail. I acquired it from Dagda in the realm of Avalon. Many wish to own this relic, the Overlord most of all. What do you know of its power? This Grail you speak of was once a source of rejuvenation and great healing. But the knowledge that will unlock this power has been lost in the mists of time. The Overlord would harness its ancient power by combining it with other arcane artifacts. What are these other artifacts? One is the Golden Fleece, guarded by a dragon on the island of Colchis. Then I shall seek this Golden Fleece for myself. Tell me more. The clouds are gathering, darkness falls. There is no more I can say. Okay. Hey, we got all the points. Oh hey, Cornelius, my boy. Lucan, I'm so glad you're here at last. Hold, let me catch up with you. Lucan, you come at last. You know my uncle? By reputation only, his sorcery is talked of far and wide, beloved of all who crave freedom and justice. Hermes said that he was just an old man. Oh nonsense, I am but an old wizard, too weak to carry on the fight. Your wits are still sharp, and your will must be strong indeed to come this far. I suppose I could not have done without my nephew here. He is a brave one indeed to seek the Golden Fleece. You have instructed him on the dangers of using powerful magic in the arcane realms. Some things he must learn for himself. Guide him, Lucan. We cannot turn from bitter truths, however unpalatable. What's this, uncle? What does she mean? In good time, my boy. The dangers we face are much more immediate. Time is of the essence, and we must depart. Our thanks, my lady. Take care. May fortune smile on you both, Lucan, Cornelius. Okay. And you're going to go through the portal? Apparently the Oracle of Delphi is going to go through the portal first. She's coming along for the journey too. Okay, can I push my uncle in there? Yeah, there we go. Get in there. And we'll go through too. There we go. Looks like there was like one crocodile or phoenix left, but hey, we got all the points. Nice, 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 and nice. There we go. Okay, let's save. On mid-level. I'll try not to make so many save points. We have Thebes and Styx. 120. Not enough for another talisman. I didn't get another magical item there, though. What's this say? Oh, pardon me. Styx is a plains region dominated by the wide River Styx, a river that acts as an entrance into the underworld. The river is the central feature of the region, starting at the eastern edge of the territory by plunging down from a high cliff, then proceeding to flow through a wide gorge. As the river heads west, it surrounds an island concealing the entrance to the underworld, where Charon, famed ferryman of the dead, holds sway. Hermes tells me that Charon should be considered something of a master of necromancy, and I should expect nothing but the stiffest of opposition from this opponent. Given his location, Charon certainly has the resources to summon forth legions of the undead. Therefore, Hermes suggests that I try to locate a bottle of holy water that is hidden in a place near the river's edge. Its application should be obvious. Okay, and Thebes. An urban region that represents one of the most celebrated cities in ancient Greece, a heavy wall surrounds the whole region, built to protect the city from any would-be invaders. Within its defensive perimeters lie many structures and buildings which may be freely explored. Some might contain secrets and treasures, while others may hide less beneficial interests. The Baron Wizard here is Cadmus, founder of the city of Thebes. Coerced back to his beloved city by the sorcerer overlord, Cadmus now jealously guards the region, raising taxes for his superior's nefarious purposes. Hermes has felt the need to warn me about the presence of manticores within this region. He believes that these creatures have made something of a home out of Thebes, and will be reluctant to see a human exploring the town. Okay. Do we see any new creatures? Nope. What about spells? Phosphorus, I didn't read about that. A white, non-metallic element used by alchemists for the procurement of gold. It also may be used as a spell component. Phosphorus is stored in water. Exposure to the air will cause ignition of the substance. Furthermore, phosphorus is extremely poisonous to all mortal creatures. The use of phosphorus in contemporary spellcasting is widespread. As well as being an essential ingredient in spells that beguile opposing creatures, it may also be used in acts of sorcery that assist the performance of allies. Okay, okay. We have there or over there. That looks like the way on, so we'll go over here first. And I don't think I'm going to distribute any points. Let's see. Actually, hold on. Right. Let's, fiddle around with our spells again. Ooh. Okay. So let's see. If we go up against Charon, he's going to have a lot of undead. Well, the best thing to fight undead is undead. Pestilence doesn't help there. Meteor Storm, perhaps. Skeletons, I think I'm going to get. Hellhounds, perhaps, because they explode. Or Phoenixes, maybe. I'm just going to go with Cure again. It's really hard to make do without it. Perhaps Lucifer's Farewell? Can I cast that on enemy creatures? I don't think so. Or I could get Subversion. But if he's just summoning a bunch of undead, that's not really that big of a... He's probably going to have Race, though, isn't he? I could... Oh, I could get Unicorns. Unicorns aren't very brave, though. Even though they do more damage against undead. An area of effect spell would be cool. I could maybe get the Fountain of Life. About that. Do fawns deal some damage versus undead? 5. What about elves? 2. Crocodiles? 6. 4. Unicorns deal 13. Okay, so fawns deal a little bit more against undead. Actually, 1 more than a hellhound. Zombies only deal 4. Wraiths deal 7. Skeletons deal 14. So skeletons are the best option versus undead. Let's get... I wonder whether if I use Lucifer's Farewell on a hellhound, will it make their explosion on death even more powerful? It'll probably cancel it out because one of them's like they just explode on death, and the hellhound's normal explosion on death takes a little while. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Oh, jeez. Hello. Welcome all. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you very much for the raid, Cracky Reads. We are currently playing an old strategy RTS game, RPG game called Magic and Mayhem, which is, I'm enjoying it quite a lot. It's an interesting kind of sort of more of an action strategy game. You've got magical items which you can mix and match and get different spells from. A game designed by Julian Gollop, the designer behind the X-Com series, so yeah. What were you playing before? If I may ask. Let's see. I want a fawn. An elf would be useful. At least some kind of ranged. Let's go with the explosion. And we'll get fawns, bats, and levitate. You play Japanese game and interpret them. Ooh, okay. I know very little Japanese myself. I did take classes on it, but I haven't had to put it to use. So I'm very out of practice with it. I did play a game a number of... I think it was around last Halloween, which was Germ's Nero Aweta Machi. It's an interesting open world kind of survival horror game for the PlayStation 1, which was only released in Japan. I don't think it has an English translation. It's very weird. I should have a look at that again. So, since my Japanese is really not that good, I can't make too much headway in it because people are giving me quests to do things, but I don't know what to do. Oh, you've actually played Gems. It's fascinating. I find it fascinating. Just the aliens' designs and all that, or mutants' designs, whatever they are. And the fact that you could just drive around a city and it's all monochrome. And I don't know, I really like the low poly styling of all the environments in it. Played it once and you called it Cyberpunk 2077 on Deck PSX. It kind of is. Exploring a city and all that. You can kill everyone too. Yeah. Yeah. I think, with the nightstick. And don't you, you can read people's last thoughts when you defeat them. This is a bit of a segue, but it's just because I find the game so interesting. There was a Let's Play I watched on it on YouTube, which didn't have any dialogue over the top of it, but it gave me a general idea of what I'm supposed to do. Still, nothing was translated, so I didn't know what was going on. It's just sort of like, oh, I have to go to this house, talk to this person, and then go here, and the person magically appears there, and then you have to go through and first things like go to a power plant and deal with some mutant guy there. It's a master of segues. It's good. A lot of the people are confused, like they're repeating the same day. Oh, okay. So, like, everything's kind of in a stasis. That's interesting. Yeah, all of that's lost on me. I ended up finding the game because another streamer I watch did a whole bunch of, like, PlayStation 1, or just, like, weird PlayStation 1 games, and it was one which they very briefly covered. Okay, I think we'll go with this. And save. And we'll go to the River Styx. All games are cool. Still feels weird to call these games old when I was like, you know, when I played the demo when it first came out. The River Styx. Fear it, Cornelius. It marks the entrance to Hades, the underworld. We're not going there, are we? No, never again. It is an abode of the damned, demons, ectoplasms, and creatures of the netherworld. Isn't it really just like purgatory? We must take care not to be drawn down into the pit of Hades, young Cornelius. It's not really hell. It's just boring. And listen well, beware Charon. He will try to ensnare us. Charon? The boatman of the Styx, who guards the entrance to the underworld. How will I know him? His form is uncertain, my boy, but you will know. Isn't he like a skeleton in a robe? I don't actually know what the traditional fictional Styx of Charon would be. It's always kind of depicted as a skeleton type figure. I'll be on my guard for the bizarre and unearthly. There is another wizard hereabouts. I believe she may be allied to Charon. Prepare yourself for hordes of the undead. Okay, gonna take that from me. Fine. There's a point up there. Let's go get it. It's like dog years. It doesn't really bear thinking about. Oh, and thank you very much for the follow, Estelin. Okay, let's summon a Hellhound on here. There is an apple over there. Can I get that before someone else hoovers it up? There's another point over there. Actually, that's more important. Okay, skeletons, go get that one. Oh wow, that is quite a lot of skeletons. Okay. Hellhound. You get an Excalibur. Go get that mana sprite. All the animation and models in this game are done with stop motion. It's why things look a little jerky, but I find it really charming. There's also some cutscenes. Very few cutscenes in the game, and they're done in stop motion too. The introductory cutscene is. It's really nice. There we go. Okay. Skeletons, come with me. There'll be an army of the undead, alright? I wonder, could Percival have been this way? Hermes, have you seen him? Percival was a knight which was with us in the last world. He disappeared. Apparently a bit miffed that we kept the Grail for ourselves. Forget Percival. He cannot be trusted. All he cares about is the Grail. I'm sure he feels like all we care about is the Grail since we kept it from him. But, oh well. There's another point. I think that skeleton has been bloodlusted. This game also has some really nice music in it, but it doesn't play very often. It seems like sometimes it doesn't play until I reload the game. And a track will only play once per level. Okay. This is, I must say, this seems to be going pretty well. And my uncle's not dying either. That's a bonus. This guy. Looks like maybe he's taken a little bit of damage, but keep him let's hope he keeps himself out of trouble. Ah, there we go, there's someone. I had terrible time was when last time Percival was around. He just kept getting into trouble, dying, finding the enemy, and just making a mess of everything. My skeletons! Fight for me! There we go. Hey, there's a statue. A skeleton. Not that I need that, but I'll take it anyway. Okay. Also, the maps wrap around. So try not to get too confused by where I'm going. Karen, my master, I am attacked. What shall become of the runestone? Pancreas. Okay. She eats an apple to gain her health back. She's casting bloodlust on her creatures. That's what that noise is. Summon some fawns. And some skeletons. And I'll heal you. Okay, we'll just keep summoning creatures around her so she doesn't go anywhere. No! Torture me all you wish, but you shall never have the runestone. Well, if you just give it to me. Hey, you have failed! I possess the runestone no more! You will never find it. My lord, I come to the underworld now to continue my service for eternity. Blech. Fungal. Grr, runestone. Help me, Cornelius. My strength is fading. Oh, god damn it. Uncle? What was I just saying? It's just over here. Let's hope we can get to him before he dies. He's surrounded by undead. How do you get yourself into these situations? There must be a way to the island. We should investigate that hut on the river. Come! No. I've got to rescue your sorry butt. Where am I? There I am. I'm going to use my boots of speed to get over there. I'm not losing the level because he's, all is lost. Damn it. I didn't let him. He chose to. Okay. Let's do that again. Everything was fine. Till they weren't. Okay. Yes. Oh, there's actually a fish in the river. Oh, we could summon trolls. Okay, let's summon a bat, and I'll put it on there. Nope, this one's mine. These little mana sprites are like mana potions. Actually get some music now. Okay, deal with the skeleton. Yep, sorry, this is my point. You're gonna have to hop off of it. Yes, yes. Gonna go over to you again because you've taken damage. Oh, there's a pestilence there. There's a brownie statue. Let's get that. Okay. Also, it seems like I don't actually keep the items from my failed attempt, which makes sense. It is actually reverting back to what it was before, not like... Because I don't have that skeleton statue anymore. Oh, you were going to die so badly. Okay, stay away from there. This thing is the Pestilence Spell. It causes these little flies to buzz around the target, and that will deal constant damage to the target until... I think until they die. Or I cast a cure spell on them. It doesn't affect undead, though. Undead are immune to the effects of pestilence. I call it plague. Same thing. Damage until he dies, like growing old. I guess it could be seen like that. Just aging really rapidly. Yes, 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 skeleton. Okay. Deal with you. Uncle, where are you going? Get back here. Are you going to get a mana sprite? I can't help myself. They taste delicious. Okay, so I have 3 points? Yes. Yeah, that's good. I'm able to pause the game every now and then whenever I want by pressing spacebar. It helps with coordinating tactics and so on. Giving myself more time to think about what's going on. Things can happen quite quickly in this. Especially if there's spells which cause fire. Okay. Okay, so my uncle's down there. Nothing up there. Spawns go up there. Though with all this pestilence going around, you're probably just going to die. Ooh, there's a phoenix statue. Let's see if we can find that enemy mage. over here? It's over here. That place looks lovely. I guess that's Karen? Charon? Karen? Whatever. I think I've lost all my points. I have. Ah, they went and took them all from me. Okay. Let's go get some of them back. Be nice if the game had some more alerts for things like that. You know, your pointer's on, you know, yeah, your pointer's under attack or something like that. Okay, go deal with them. Uncle's dying. Go help him. He's being chased by a skeleton. He's actually up here, so let's go this way. Great. Now he's got the plague again. Okay, well, good. You got some mana, so you can heal yourself a bit. Where's that enemy mage? I can find them. I hear the spell casting over here. Over here now. There you are. Okay. Let's cast a Hellhound. Send it into melee. Put an Excalibur on it. And also summon a Phoenix. Well, you're a numbnuts. She cast Tornado, and it, spun her away. I guess actually that's not that bad of a move, because now I don't know where she is. There's my Hellhound. I think you might take damage from, there you are. Hitting a whirlwind, hitting a tornado. Okay, heal dog. There we go. No, no, Phoenix. Okay. My Phoenix died. That's what all that fire there is from. It's why I was trying to get it to engage in melee with the enemy mage, because the fire will spread. And what with all this grass everywhere, that will be pretty nasty. Oh, that's what the Fountain of Life does. It actually shoots out a healing beam. Get back here! Uncle, you're a little injured. Let me heal you. Okay. We'll make you a bomb. And... hop back. I am attacked! Yes, yes. Okay, well that took out all of my creatures. Get up onto the hill. Hey! Ah. Get back over there. Actually, let's get that point. I guess Uncle can stand on it. Will it keep him out of trouble? Probably not. Okay. So where have you gone? Up here, I think, again. Kind of wish the AI was a little bit more aggressive, like a bit more willing to like get stuck into combat. Chasing them all over the place constantly does get a little old. Oh, she's on that island over there. Okay. It just means that I'm not just sitting there. Getting just, you know. This looks pretty good. Yep. Okay, everyone. Descend on her. Come on, ignore all the other things. Focus on her. She's making a getaway across the water. Damn it. Bat! You're faster. Go get her. Come on. Nearly dead. There we go. Ooh, we got 100 points to get in this level still. Okay. I guess kill this zombie for the runestone. Is this going to be runestone of chaos? Must be a way to that island. We should investigate that hut on the river. Okay. And you're not going to die, are you? No. There's a runestone. Let's go get it. We already have one. Runes of Law. Okay. Well, I think he means that island. Let's go get this. There we go. Okay, let me make a save. And let's have a look over here. Ha! What a sight! Now you can fly like me! What is this on my back? An ornithopter, a flying machine, but beware, its lifespan is limited. Until your legs get tired, I guess. Okay. I guess let's go over here then. I guess you just have to imagine it's on his back. Hello. Ah, welcome. More raw souls for the underworld. Come hither. Come, do not be afraid. You're welcome here, a place of infinite pleasure. Escape the prison of your flesh. Succumb, be seduced. I am rather attached to my flesh, ferryman. Yeah. Ow! Lightning. Now summon hellhounds. That's not good. He just like chucked my hellhound into the pit or something. Ow. Okay, skeletons. I need this mana more than my uncle does. So go to those points and get them for me, please. Okay, that kind of worked. Now I am paralyzed. Petrified. Yeah, he seems to like chuck things in the pit every now and then. I'm getting out of here for the moment. Bye! I hope I can get the wings back if I need them. Not just a once-off dealie. Okay, so let's see. I think I've gotten all the points out here. I have troops going to them. I think there's 5. Got that one, getting that one, and that one. I don't have that one, actually. But we have it. Okay. Right. Now, that should be a lot of magic. Want souls? I'll give you souls. Have all the souls which you can eat. You'll have all the souls in the world. Did I just not pay attention to my health dropping there, or did I just really die very quickly? Okay. Let's reload. Right. Go there. Go there. And you go over there. Actually, you can go over there, because you're pretty tough. There we go. Okay, that is all the points. Yep. Okay, save. Room got. And let's get that ornithopter again. I guess this is a oh, there is a roof. There's a hole in the roof for me to fly through. I guess this is a spell which we could get later. Okay. Oh, it would also make myself invisible. That might help. Yep. Nope. Tar, but no thanks. Ow! Doesn't seem like that's a spell he casts. It's just something which happens every now and then. Let me levitate you out of here. Go on. Get. Can I levitate you out of here? Well, I guess that kind of works. I rule here now. Oh, it looks like he teleported back. Boo. Or maybe he didn't go far enough. Go on. Mid-air combat. He appears to be stuck on the rocks now. I can hit him with magic spheres. Hey, this is using a noodle. This is perfectly legitimate. What are you talking about? I mean, you can still cast lightning on me. I've just, you know, determined that the fight's going to be over here now instead of on his... So he doesn't have a home advantage. That's it. I won the coin flip. Ow! Looks like my, flying did actually wear off. Felt like that wore off faster than last time. I hope I don't have to go down there. The hole there. And I hope I don't have to pick up whatever he drops. That's, if he drops anything at all, that is. That's, not something I considered. Ha ha ha! Do you think you have killed me? I am eternal. I am Karen, boatman to the... Okay. Lucan, what ails you? My old bones grow weary, my boy. Your courage does me proud, Cornelius. When I have shed this mortal frame, you must carry on my work. There is so much for you to learn, but now we must depart from this wretched place. Okay. I guess I can get the flying back because the teleport is up there. So, hello. Welcome, welcome. So let's see. Last time we just had to stand on there. That's actually a chest there. Let's go have a look at that. Is there anything else in that house? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Didn't look like he dropped anything. Where was it? Where did he die? Like, here? Okay, how are you going to get down there? There is a zombie in the water there, but that doesn't help me because the zombie Okay, I guess I could fly over there. Let's see, can I get the flying back? If I can't, I'm gonna have to go for that while I have the flying and then fight Karen again. Charon? Or maybe I could go into the river over there. Like there's a ramp there. Yeah. How deep is this? I don't think you can drown. Oh, it's getting up to my head here. Okay, doesn't look like he wants to go any further. So let's go and get that, get those boots again. Still fire's burning over there. Okay, do I get them back? I do. Oh, good. There's a wraith in there. Not so good. Okay, let's go. Open that chest. There we go. Ooh, holy water. I wonder what's in this bottle. Holy water. Use it to dispel the undead. It's a bit late for that, but oh well. Yeah, they did mention something about holy water, didn't they? Okay, so is there anything else which we can do in this level? I think I noticed anything else sitting around which I can get. So let's just go straight for the portal. There we go. Did I get all the points? No, I didn't. There's 30 which I missed out on. Okay. Would that be like using the holy water? Didn't notice anything else around, and there was no other, like, notifications for anything. Oh well. Let's see. Right, yeah, the holy water was just an item. It wasn't a magical item like this. Let's have a read of what it says for it anyway. Holy water. A small bottle containing blessed water. When activated, a cloud of magical energy emanates from the user, affecting all undead creatures caught within its radius. Undead caught within the blast may be buried and finally laid to rest. Okay. We didn't see any new creatures, did we? No. Okay then. Let's go to Thebes. Apparently there's manticores here? Hang on, let me just make sure I save. Go. And I'll sit on my points again in case I get another magical item. The Splendor of Thebes. What a wonder to behold. And the gates are open to us. Shall we enter? Mighty temples and tombs of ancient kings, a bounty of untold riches. Many are the tales of thieves outwitted by tricks and traps, visions of glittering jewels dancing before their dying eyes. Now is no time for sightseeing, Uncle. Let us see what lies ahead. You say that, but if there's items which I can get in here, then I'm definitely going to take the time to get them. Okay, let's cast a Hellhound on there. So I have a magical point. Ooh. Hello. I guess you're a Manticore. It did say that the Manticores are hostile. Oh, hello. Percival, we meet again. I thought you dead or imprisoned. Do you still possess the Grail? What happened? The Overlord, did he? The Grail, I must see it. Calm yourself, my friend. The Grail is safe with me. You do not understand. You know not how long I have searched for it. All I have suffered and endured. Tantalized with the knowledge of its power, always a step beyond my grasp. This thing of divine wonder, a source of eternal bliss. Percival, are you fevered? What ails you? You misjudged the Overlord, Cornelius. He means no evil. He has shown me the way, the one true path. I seek the Grail not for myself, but for the glory of a new empire. An empire of peace, prosperity, and perfect order. No, he has you, Percival. Don't you see you're being manipulated for his own ends? Submit, Cornelius. The realms of Avalon could be yours forever. You must yield the Grail. No, Percival, this is wrong. Please listen to me. The Grail, give it to me, now. You know I can't do that, old friend. I will defend it with my very lifeblood. Then so be it. Okay. It's going to be pretty tough. He has, what, Iron Skin and Heal. But he doesn't actually have a mana pool of his own. Ooh, there's a centaur. I wonder if there's a way to save you. You're going to get that wine. Let's go pick up these items. Get that manticore. Get this steak. Oh, and this crocodile statue. Is there something else in there which I can't see? What you're going for? No, apparently not. Okay, we get the Manticore. Uncle's taking damage. Uncle is in need of healing badly. Well, not so badly. I think he can hold on for a little bit longer. The wrong hellhound. Okay. Oh, there's another layer up there. There's a point on top of the wall. Go grab it. I mean, my uncle has it, but... Again, I can make better use of it than he can. He's fighting his way up the stairs. Actually, not going too bad. Oh, it looks like the trolls actually eat the corpses to heal themselves. Let's give you Excalibur. That will make you a little bit tougher if you get stuck in melee. Or rather, it will help you fight off enemies a bit better. No. There we go. Bonk. Summon some skeletons. So is there another mage around here which is summoning these creatures? Or is it just, like, Sir Percival and a bunch of manticores which keep popping up out of thin air? And fawns. Pick that up. Oh, Uncle's going alright. There is a point out there. I still have my 2 points. I guess I just have to, like, clear out the city. Doesn't actually look like he's got heal, which is good, because... Now... Okay. Get him. We'll see what happens when we kill him. Cornelius, forgive me. I find release at the moment of death. Avenge me. Blech. Killed Percival. 20 experience points. Whoa. Yay. Go kill that brownie. I'm sorry? What was that? Found Galactides. I'm assuming it is. Not galactides. That's something. That's another, magic item. Okay. Go there. Those centaurs have ornithopters. Are they just like enchanted wings stuck to their backs with a little stick? Okay. Where's the front gate? There it is. Let's go out of the city. Flying unicorns. Not unicorns, centaurs. That'd be like a centaur Pegasus. Don't think I've ever seen something like that. There must be some version of that in Greek mythology. Someone must have thought to mash up those two things together. Some ruins. I'm not really finding much in the way of treasure, what the game was telling me. Someone keeps enchanting these things with the ability to fly. Oh, hang on. That maybe looked like someone there. I saw a red cross. On the auto map. It's like just over here and then disappeared. Are they invisible? They are. Or maybe they're not. Okay, we found them anyway. Okay. Let's cast Levitate on you just so that you can't get away. And we'll summon more hellhounds. This is where I need ranged units or something. Where'd he go? Okay. Well, he's not getting away. Unless he can cast fly on himself. I wonder if I had killed him first, would Sir Percival be alright? I think I could cast spells on the roof myself. Yeah, there we go. Get him, roof skeletons. This is not good. Not good at all. I must leave the city and rally reinforcements. Good luck leaving, unless you can jump off the roof. What do you think you're doing? Weaving your magic with scant regard for the law. I was engaged in battle. What do you expect? I have a city to run. Taxes must be paid. That includes sorcery tax. You will pay or cease your spellcasting. I have no gold and no more patience. Ah, my lord, come quickly, I am usurped. Blech. To the portal. Again, he didn't drop anything important on the roof, did he? I wouldn't be able to get it. Good, we got all the points. Cadmus, you old fool. Cornelius is no ordinary wizard. I will deal with him myself. Okay, oh, we're gonna go in there. Righto. Yeah, we better stay away from big ol' angry overlord dude. How do I get in there? Over here. Okay. If I go near that overlord, he's probably just going to blow up all my troops again, isn't he? Yeah. Kind of looks like it. You speak of righteousness, but you deal in death, wizard. How could you say Percival, your own friend? Why, you... Enough, the Grail. I will take it now. Over my dead body, what use is it to you? Can it be worth all the senseless slaughter? You don't know? Perhaps I overestimated you, Cornelius. You may find out, if you live long enough. Yeah, well... Get levitated. No! I have been undone! Yeah, okay, I really don't think we can kill him. He's just, like, lightning bolting everyone around him. I mean, maybe I could. He's stuck on the roof now. Who could have foreseen? He's actually summoning a lot of troops, too. Who could have foreseen that roofs would be the, one weakness of so many mages? Okay. I would like to try to see whether I can kill him. He'll either just, like, heal back up to full, or he may teleport away. You know, I'm not going to waste any more time on you. Okay. Get around. There we go. Okay, can we see him up on the roof there? I am being attacked by a wraith. Don't get close to him. Ow, that's like a chain lightning spell. That hurts. Go, go, bats! That worked well. I mean, if I just summon units onto the roof. If I can get close enough. I've kind of just given him a great range to cast spells on me by putting him up there, haven't I? Or an unbroken line of sight. Okay, we've got one skeleton up there. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. He's got heal. Fine. Let's just leave. I mean, maybe if I could get like a lot of troops up there and just keep summoning them, I could maybe kill him, but I feel like he'd just spam cures or something when he gets close to dying. At least him being stuck up on the roof means that he can't chase me anymore. If I had a meteor spell, I might have been able to deal a bit more damage to him. It's not the gap in the terrain there. I've seen a few of those. Okay, go through there. I guess I'm glad that it seems my uncle actually managed to get through the portal. He didn't get zapped by lightning by the Overlord. Okay. Actually got a little headband on our character now. Hey, full point. I'm guessing that means that we had to kill Percival. There wasn't any other way around it. Okay. Ooh, an island. Colchis. Okay, let's see. What does this provide for us? Ooh, wraiths. An undead creature that is invisible to enemies. Spying eye. Although weak and stationary, the spying eye can see invisible creatures. Centaurs. A swift, hardy, intelligent creature that prefers to throw spears in combat. Okay, let's read about Galactides. A special form of emerald used traditionally to decipher magical writings and to see that which cannot usually be seen. Galactides is also especially useful in the conjuration of ghosts. Okay, did we get a thing here? Oh, we got the holy water, that's right. What about spells? There's one, Earthbind. Mana cost 10, spell range 16. I have found a spell that renders airborne creatures flightless, cruelly taking away their ability at the most inopportune occasions. Callous though this admission may be, I cannot help but feel some satisfaction at observing a creature suddenly losing its elegance in flight. The indignation of falling to the ground with all of the grace of a stone dropped from a height. The subject of the spell only loses its ability for a period of time, but this may be of little consequence, as the fall inflicts damage upon the victim. Some smaller animals, such as bats, are often killed by such an impact. If the subject survives the fall, it will only be able to perform ground-based maneuvers until the effect of Earthbind wears off. Creatures endowed with some magical flying ability will not be able to utilize this until the effects of Earthbind have abated. It is not without malice that I pondered the ironic implications of a man casting this spell upon a creature of the air. For centuries we have jealously observed the ability of the bird to defy those laws of gravity that bind mankind to the ground. Now, instead of craving that freedom of the skies, we simply deny those with the ability to use it. The lessons learned too late by Icarus shall now be learned by all who soar to greater heights. I would have thought that a bat wouldn't be hurt as much from it, but a larger creature like a phoenix would have taken more damage because they're heavier, but eh. What about other spells? Haste. Did I read about that? No, I didn't. Mana cost 20, spell range 16. The Haste spell has been well known amongst scholars and sorcerers alike for many years. It may be applied to oneself or one's allies, whether land-based or airborne. Once cast, the subject of the spell will be able to move at double its normal speed. There is no noticeable effect on other activities, such as combat, although once involved in a skirmish, it facilitates a speedy retreat. The duration of the effect is limited, and there does not seem to be any detrimental side effects to this frantic spell. Okay, that's interesting to know. So it only increases speed. It doesn't increase combat attack speed. Is Ornithopter. Mana cost 25, spell range 16. I have mastered a spell that reaffirms to me the positive aspects of sorcery. The ability to create a device, mechanical in nature, that allows for the denizens of the ground to take to the skies. I cannot help but marvel at this incredible invention. By its very existence, the device defies all laws of nature, yet still it functions as intended. Mechanical ingenuity has been combined with the practice of sorcery, enabling that which should not function to do so. The art of magic translating that which is useless into something with practical applications. The machine itself is elegant in design, although it does lose some of its elegance when this contraption takes to the air. The subject to whom the machine is applied becomes suspended from beneath its wings, unceremoniously supported by a steel rod that seems to attach itself to the pilot's back. The device appears to last only for a limited distance, but if used sparingly in combination with walking, the Ornithopter may prove invaluable. This contraption can be applied to the caster and their allies, but then who would be foolish enough to give such an advantage to the enemy? Such is the nature of magic that it seems almost anything can be something possible. It seems almost anything can sometimes be possible. As for myself, I must confess to being very keen at the prospect of perfecting my handling of the contraption. It can surely be no more unstable than my uncle's confounded lighter-than-air machine, the very mode of transportation that landed me in this predicament in the first place. Yeah, we took some kind of, like, one-man dirigible here. It was like a basket with a prow and a balloon suspended above it to get here. Teleport's a new one. Mana cost 45, spell range 20. This transporting spell allows the caster to travel from one place to another without having to make the physical transition. That is, to be dematerialized from one location, then rematerialized in another. The use of such a spell has obvious applications. It allows me to enter the confines of a building, for example, without needing to locate a door, and also enable me to simply vanish from a situation that might find me cornered by the enemy to a safer distance out of the fray. The spell has a limited range, but despite this, teleport is an invaluable asset to a wizard such as myself. Okay. I take it for that we can only teleport our mage. We can't teleport our creatures with that. That's everything there. We read about that. I think we've read about all of these. Okay. What about Colchis? The passage from Thebes to the kingdom of Colchis consists of a short but rough sea journey. The island has great significance within Aegea, being the home of the legendary Golden Fleece, which is nailed upon a tree at the Grove of Ares. King Aeetes set a great dragon that never sleeps to guard the fleece, because an oracle told him that his life would end if the fleece left the island. Aeetes still reigns in Colchis, but it is rumoured that his daughter, the scheming witch Medea, grows restless for power. Okay then. Now we're going for time. Okay, we might do... We'll see whether we can do one more mission. Should we get the wraiths, centaurs, or the spying eye? I still don't have that as a creature or anything like that. It did seem useful to have that with the bow on it, but I don't have the item which allows me to cast that. Let's get basilisks. We'll get phoenixes. Subvert. We'll get Tanglevine. Lightning? I actually have to spend another point because we got an extra item. What would I want? I feel another point of law would be good. Or another talisman of law. I could actually get a talisman of chaos as well, but let's go for the law talisman. Because I would like to have some elves. We'll get red caps. And levitate or magic sphere. Magic sphere is useful to deal with enemy mages. I can just spam a whole bunch of them on them. Though levitate was nice. Stopping the enemy from moving and getting them stuck on buildings is very funny. Let's do that. I don't really have any good fighting units. These are all kind of weak. Red caps are probably the toughest amongst them. Elves are a ranged unit. They're pretty good. Okay, well, let's see how it goes. Okay, let's go over to Caucus. Ugh, I don't feel so good. I thought that leaking tub would be the death of me. Oh, like we sailed over here on a ship. Okay. The Argo. Never did a fighter ship sail the seven seas. The captain didn't appreciate my opinion of his vessel's seaworthiness. The captain? Was his name Jason by any chance? Is there anyone you don't know, Hermes? Anyway, let's just say Jason and I agreed to differ. Please don't tell me you fought. Don't worry, he came off worst. Cornelius, I implore you, stay out of trouble in the court of King Aetes. This is his palace? Your powers of observation serve you well. You being snarky. Where is Lucan? He went ahead to greet Aetes. Thankfully, his manner is more diplomatic than yours. Okay. Should I go in there or should I have a look around the countryside first? Let's have a look around out here. I saw a Manticore there. Popped up briefly. Oop. There's a talisman. There's a statue and red cap. Not too useful, but yeah, we'll pick it up anyway. A free casting could be useful. I do have lightning spell. That means I could set the ground on fire. Let's go over here. What's this then? I'm sorry, what? It's like a griffin. Or something like that. There's another statuette. I wonder how many rows of these I can get. Considering my spells are down there as well, I must be able to carry quite a few. That's actually interesting that my spells are down here as well. Like, you'd think maybe they would have, like, items over here or something. Or have different... You could have two of these little buttons. One which is items, and you could maybe press a button to scroll through them. And one for the spells. Rather than having them all in the one little dropout. Okay, well, there's a point. Let's go get that. Is there anyone on it? Yes, there is. Are those griffins? They might be dragons. They look like they've got a beak, but they also look like they've got leathery wings. They might be dragons. There's a river down here. There's another magical point with another dragon on it. I just gotta call them dragons. It did mention there were dragons on this level, so... I'm guessing that is what those are. Here's something else. Is there going to be another dragon on that? Yep. Okay. I've got phoenixes, which are flying units. Oh, no, they're griffins. They are griffins. Okay. Let's have a look over here. What's this? Ooh, hey. I'm betting that's a dragon. Yep. Dragon's got spikes all over its wings. I think it's actually hostile, so I'm not going to go near that. It might start chasing me around. Okay, let's head over here, and we'll go inside the castle palace now. Again, it's a nice little detail that when you step on the tall grass, it flattens it. Okay. What's in here? Hello. Hail, King Aeetes. Aeetes. I, Cornelius, nephew of Lucan, salute your majesty. Welcome to Colchis, Cornelius. What brings you here? I have come in search of the Golden Fleece. Ah, yet another reckless adventurer. Many have preceded you, boy. All have failed. Their lust for glory was their undoing, and so shall it be with you. But the sport amuses me. If you believe yourself truly worthy of this prize, then go, but I will not aid you. I will do my best to be of some entertainment, sire. Your uncle will await you here. He has agreed to be my guest. May I speak with him? No, he is resting. Should you succeed in your quest, he will join you. Ha! You think I cannot win the fleece without Lucan's powers? Think what you like, boy, but when in my kingdom, you will play by my rules. As you wish, we will meet again. Jason? No, I am Cornelius. And you are? Medea, daughter of Aeetes. Did Jason send you? No, but I know this Jason is recovering from the voyage. Let me guess, you are here for the fleece. Yes, but how did you... No matter, I suppose you will have to do. I don't think anyone would come here unless they're looking for the Golden Fleece. I am kept prisoner here by my dear father. He fears my witchcraft. Win the Golden Fleece, and you will command my deepest gratitude. These dragon teeth will be of use to you. Will they summon skeletons? They will summon the undead. Use them to slay the dragon that knows no sleep, and the fleece will be yours. My thanks to you, my lady. May the luck of the gods be with you. I will await your return in the temple. Okay. Got dragon teeth. Oh yeah, there we go. Like a little necklace. Is that Manticore going to attack you? Is it just chasing you? You're taking it for a walk. Let's see. Where was that dragon? It's over here. Okay. Go that way. Okay. I'm guessing our uncle is in here. Sir, your house looks like a government center from Age of Empires. Or maybe a barracks. Okay. Right. Dagron. Okay. You better summon more than just one skeleton at a time. And I don't have Excalibur. Ugh. Okay, summon a basilisk. I guess we'll see how effective all of our creatures are. That's not actually dealing that much damage. Again, I wish I could see like the models which they use to do the animations for this. That would be neat. Okay. Zap. Bleh. Wow, he dropped a lot of mana. Killed the dragon. 10 experience points. Okay, let's go pick up the Golden Fleece. With the skull included, apparently. Here we go. Okay. Well, I did the thing. Though, apparently, you've been told that if it leaves the island, then you're going to die. So you're probably going to stop me from taking it. Thus, fulfilling the thingy anyway. The wizard Cornelius proves most troublesome. The dragon failed me. I will have to use other means. I guess I'm going to have to deal with this problem myself. What do you call that arrow? that shot. Where was that going? Okay. Those griffins are still on the points. Hold on. Let me try something. Phoenix, go over there. I haven't told the Phoenix to attack the griffin. Those places of power belong to the court of King Aeetes. Remove yourself at once. Fine. Damn it, the game thought of... The game anticipated me. Okay. Fair enough. I like how you can just shove creatures off of the points of power. Oh well. Okay, let's gather all of our troops together here. Okay, good, good, good. Can you petrify that, please? I would like you to petrify it. Why can't I petrify it? Ow. Oh, they are firing spikes. I was going to say, I thought manticores were able to, like, fire spikes at you. Or at least that's... Ow. Wow. Okay. Actually, hop away. Phoenix is going to blow. Boom. Right. Let's see. Tanglevine? I made a nice little, hedgerow arch for him. Be careful about my mana consumption. Why do you have that spell? Ow. That really hurts. I'm just gonna petrify you. There we go. Right. Basilisk. We could take some of these points. Maybe we can? Actually, let's just go and free our uncle. Why are you attacking me? Cornelius? Lucan, are you alright? What happened? Don't worry about me, my boy. I'm fine. Well fed and rested, despite my lack of freedom. Listen to me. Your survival depends upon it. Trust neither Aeetes nor his seemingly innocent daughter, Medea. Never fear. I would not put my faith in either. Take these mana sprites, but use them only when you must. Yay! Okay, I freed you. I guess diplomacy has kind of completely failed, so we could probably just take the points. What am I worried about? They're going to berate me again. Don't take those. They're ours. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of fighting you all. I don't think that matters anymore. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, well, I used all the dragon's teeth. That's fine, whatever. Or not. Because now I'm dead. Again, I thought I had a lot of health. Okay, let's try that again then. Did I save? Yes. Okay, just before I attacked the dragon. Well, there went that recap. Please don't hurt me. Could I subvert you? Nope. Okay, good. Dagrod's dead. Now I just need to put out the fire, which I caused. It should go out eventually on its own. There's only this little patch of grass here for it to burn. Okay. Let's save. I wonder whether I should just take the point anyway. It'll probably mean that I'll have to fight both of them rather than one of them. Let's just go all out with dealing with her father. It's the lightning which is a problem, though. Oh, hang on. One moment. Yeah, you. Right. Wait for everyone to join up. Should try casting Subvert on the Manticores. I wonder whether that would work. I wasn't able to last time, but I don't know whether that was because of... I don't know. Range, perhaps? Maybe I wasn't close enough. Nice! I've actually gained control of one of the manticores. Cool. Okay, these are my points now. I don't know where... what's his name is went. There's a scroll. Let me go read that first. Save again also. That went very well. Two for one. For every two that die, a greater one is born. Okay. These might be tombstones. If I had raised dead, I'd probably be able to summon summon undead from there. Wow, you hurt. Hello. Again. Go. Right, now. Oh, that subvert there didn't work. That one did. I just take over all your manticores. How's that? Sound fair to you? No? Tough. They've all got these nice bows on them as well. Yeah, I don't know. I could have cast that on him. Can I subvert my grandfather's units? I would like a troll. Doesn't look like I can. Ooh, okay. My uncle has it appeared as a character. I can't see how much health he has. That makes me slightly worried. Is there anything back there? That's just a little... I suppose that's a throne. Oh, I see. He went off to get some... Ooh, hey! There's a thing. Thank you. I think subvert's based off based off their chances based off the unit's magic resistance. Get some more basilisks. I might have been able to actually subvert the dragon. If I tried several times. Excellent work. This one is impressive indeed. It almost seems a shame to kill him, but I must be free. Well. Looks like you're next. Oh, that was a phoenix. That wasn't a griffin. Yeah, I was going to say, that means all the griffins are now hostile, doesn't it? Okay, but I think she's in here. We've got quite an army. Can I actually blast a hole in the roof here? It's not... The roof isn't, well, she's going to do it for us anyway. She can't storm. The roof isn't, like, made of wood in the center. Around the edges, it's made of wood. Wow. But... yeah. Okay, let's see. There we go. Just get under the wood. Get under the roof. Can I subvert one of the griffins? Okay, good. Griffin's closer. It still says I can't see it. Okay. Actually, come to think of it, you gave me something, didn't you? Here, have some skeletons. Thank you very much for that item earlier, by the way. What the heck was that? Something is wrong. My witchcraft has deserted me. This cannot be. Rip. Okay, good. I got a point back. I'd actually lost the points in there. Okay, I think that's everything which I can do on this level. We came, we saw, we killed a whole bunch of more people. We achieved our goals. Are we the bad guys? I still feel... I don't know. Well, let's go through the portal. Don't want to hang around and kill all the rest of the griffins. I mean, I know they're all working for the bad guy. But we're kind of taking a lot of like extreme measures. Well, okay, there's Attica. Save. Let's see. Ooh, that was a nice amount of points. I don't think I got another item. Let's see what this says. Attica was once known for its beautiful cities and wealth. Many dwellings, temples, and civic buildings can be discovered here. Remnants of Athens, the city famous for the production of silver coins, amongst other things, can also be located. The Acropolis marks the point that celebrates this place. This is now the realm and gladiatorial arena of Ariadne, who, bitter in the ways of love, takes a perverse satisfaction in putting man against man for her own amusement. She is a shrewd sorceress, nonetheless, and is not to be taken lightly. Okay. Ooh, we saw a dragon. I like it. Mana cost 186, health 500, combat 24, versus undead is 8, breath fire is 20, range 8, resist magic is 45, intelligence is 50, bravery is 40, vision is 15, weight is 8, ground speed 16, flight speed is 21. The dragon has been a potent symbol over the centuries, representing the apotheosis of evil during the advent of Christianity, later becoming a symbol of valor. Regardless of mankind's perception, the dragon is in fact a neutral beast, displaying an incredibly high intellect, treating all others with a quiet, patient contempt. Such a magnificent creature could never be drawn into such petty matters as law and chaos. The dragon is the most fabulous of all magical animals, savage and cunning, shrewd and wise, a monstrous airborne creature with flaming eyes, barbed tail, and enormous ribbed wings. That gives this great beast an impressive flying ability. Unfortunately, the dragon can hardly be described as stealthy, its sheer size and weight making it highly visible to most creatures in its vicinity. There are, however, very few who would take on the dragon in battle. For most creatures, its very presence is enough to make them run for their lives. Contrary to popular myth, the dragon favors ground-based combat, taking to the skies only rarely to gain the upper hand. To gain the upper hand over an opponent. A natural defender, the dragon's fiery breath is a weapon that is hard to match. It should be noted, however, that the dragon's fire-breathing ability can only be used whilst the creature is stationary on the ground. The delicate balance of chemicals within the beast are upset by motion. Dragons need very little in the way of sustenance, but do enjoy a light snack from time to time, particularly so if that morsel is a troublesome human. We seem to be considered something of a dragon delicacy, especially those of our kind coated in a crunchy layer of metal. The dragon finds it an amusing challenge to extract the soft centers. Okay. What else was there? Griffins. Mana cost 112, health 440, combat 22, versus undead 7, resist magic 30, intelligence is 15, bravery is 38, vision is 15, weight 7, ground speed 8, flight speed 25. Who would have believed that this mighty creature could exist, oft seen on heraldic crests, a splendid union of the lion and the eagle, both majestic beasts. In the flesh, this beast is awe-inspiring, with dagger-like talons and razor-sharp beak. It is fortunate that the griffins are natural defenders of all things lawful, loathing chaos. A formidable challenger in ground battle, its sheer mass makes it a mightier opponent on the roads of air, second only to the dragon. Indigenous to mountainous areas, the griffin lives in the caves of these rocky summits, and it is said that their nests are lined with stolen golden treasures. Many a traveller has met his death attempting to plunder the creature's legendary bounty. Circling from above, the griffin will patrol an area of land, its enhanced sight easily distinguishing friendly units from hostile, making it an excellent scout. Conspicuous and noisy on the ground due to its great bulk and dense feathering, in flight the griffin is silent, only its distinctive battle cry can be heard echoing around the craggy heights as it swoops into combat. Its high magical resistance makes it a difficult target for any that wish to control this creature. We also got the Manticore. Mana cost 75, health 350, combat 30, versus undead 10, quill 5, range 4, resist magic 25, intelligence 8, bravery 44, vision 15, weight 7, speed 10. Red is for danger, red is for blood, and red is for this man-eater from the fiery depths of hell. Who could not fear I guess that's his gaping maw, whiplash tail, yet crystal blue human eyes. It sees into your very soul. This mighty predator moves with cat-like speed. The only sound that could alert you to its presence is its low growl, or the distinctive clicking that is produced by the carapace segments rubbing together when the beast rolls and unrolls its tail. The attack of the Manticore is manifold. It can fire its quills for great distances with alarming precision, yet it is most deadly at close quarters, stabbing with scorpion tail, gouging with lion's claws, and rending and tearing with 3 rows of shark teeth. To survive an assault from this beast is tantamount to a miracle. The Manticore lives to hunt and to kill, patrolling its own territory at all times. When this creature is under your command, it may be advisable to group them with their own kind, allowing the pack to develop its own natural hierarchy. Too many creatures dread the Manticore and should not be expected to function efficiently in its presence. They still make my blood run cold. A monster with human eyes does sound creepy. It does, rather. Like, you'd notice that it looks different. I like it's actually got the 3 rows of teeth there. I think there's a version of a Manticore which actually has like a human face. Not like a sphinx. Or is it just a different variation of it? Was it the ones from Age of Mythology? No, there was another one. I think it was like a lion creature. I think it had a human face, and it had like a brass roar or something like that. Anyway, it reminds me of, well, basically Manticores. It looks very similar to a lot of, other depictions of them. It doesn't have a mane, though, which is, I think, what I tend to see them with. Looks like, I think, earlier Warhammer models. Yeah, the head actually looks like a, what's it called? A, Fleshhound of Khorne. The earlier ones, at least. Anyway, was that all the creatures which we'd seen? Yeah, I think so. Okay, any new spells? Ooh, yeah. Berry. Oh, that's what that rip was. Mana cost 27, spell range 16. At last, I have a method of dealing with hordes of the undead with one wave of my trusty staff. The berry spell is cast onto a specific point of land. From this point, a burst of energy radiates outwards. Although this energy is harmless to mortal creatures, any undead types caught within this radius are banished forever, exorcised, made one with the very soil that they stand upon. That is, unless the magical resistance of the undead subject is strong enough to repel the magic. The spell must therefore be a variation on the incantations I witnessed in the northern regions of Germany some years ago, where whole village communities were plagued by the nocturnal activities of vampires. A priest there demonstrated to me his remarkable abilities of exorcism that I was unable to fathom, and he was reluctant to explain. Needless to say, in a matter of days, the priest had banished all of those foul creatures, even crediting my assistance to the locals, who treated us as lords during our brief tour of the region. It should be noted that all forms of undead are susceptible to the effects of the spell, including allied creations. I must therefore aim with caution when casting the berry spell if I intend to utilize the services of the undead. There would be little point in me commanding an army of skeletons if I then accidentally exorcise them out of being. I see now that the unsummon spell actually has a... That's something else as well. But, the little icon here is of a Manticore. Did we get a new... No, I didn't get a new magic item. Okay. We got the Golden Fleece. This is a much coveted fleece of the Golden Ram, who was sent by Hera, wife of Zeus, to carry Helle and Phrixus to safety when in danger from their stepmother's jealousy. This beast possessed the power of flight, so their escape was swift, but whilst over the sea, Helle fell and was drowned. Only Phrixus reached dry land, where he killed the ram as a sacrifice of thanks to Zeus. The skin is said to hang from a tree on the island of Colchis, but is guarded at all times by a mighty dragon. Well, not anymore. There was also dragon's teeth. The Dragon's Teeth artifact is a necklace, ordained with teeth that produce a skeleton warrior when sewn onto the ground. Up to 6 skeletons can be created in this way, with no mana cost attached. Okay. I think that's everything. Yep. Okay. Going off over to there. I would have thought that was Athens, because Athens is a seaport, isn't it? Yeah, well, whatever. Like this is a... Whatever. This isn't exactly, real Earth, is it? I still don't really know what this is. It's kind of like regions taken from Earth and put into a mystical realm. I guess kind of like the mythological variations of those places. Yeah, let's see. I don't have any more items, so I don't want to put a point in talismans. Again, I haven't really been hitting my control limit too much. Oh, controlling more monsters is nice, but the game often doesn't really give me chances to really get stuck in like that and have a huge battle. So I guess I'll keep sitting on my experience points until I really need them for something. My health is going pretty fine too. Could maybe be a bit higher, but... Yeah, like we'll be going there next. However, I think we'll save it, and we'll continue with this next time. I think this was session 4? And there we go. Okay. So yeah, we've made a fair bit of progress. I thought we'd get stuck on this level quite a bit more considering how difficult it was last time, but nope, it went pretty smoothly. And then we did oh, that's like 5 extra missions. This area has got a lot more levels in it than the last one, which is good. I was kind of thinking it would sort of be powering through this game. It's nice that it's got a bit of length to it. And I think there's one other realm after this one. I don't know how long that is. I have to see when we get there. Let's see. I mean, this is quite a large region. I don't know. Maybe we go here. There might be a region over here. Maybe one there. That might be included in this. Maybe one over here. And then that. So there might be, what, 3 more levels in here? Perhaps? Yeah. We'll continue with Magic and Mayhem next time. Thank you very much for joining, and I hope you'll join me then.